The start of hurricane season is right around the corner, and you may have already seen headlines that look like this, or this, or this. I'm meteorologist Andrew Markowitz, and in this video, we're going to break down how things are looking for the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season. On average, there are 14 named storms per year in the Atlantic Basin, but each of the last 8 years, we've either matched that number or exceeded it every single time. This includes 3 out of the last 4 years being among the most active we have ever seen. Over the last year, we have been under the influence of El Nino, which is defined by warmer than average sea surface temperatures in the equatorial Pacific region. During El Nino years, oceanic winds in the Pacific blow from west to east, which counter the trade winds in the Atlantic that blow from east to west. This creates strong vertical wind shear, which inhibits the ability for storms to form and then strengthen. Historically, this is why El Nino years tend to have fewer tropical cyclones in the Atlantic than La Nina years. So why did 2023 become a major exception to this rule? This is because sea surface temperatures in the Atlantic were by far the warmest we had ever seen, as indicated by the orange line. So far, 2024 is matching this tit for tat, but the most anomalous warmth is right over the tropical Atlantic region, which is especially concerning. Additionally, we are seeing our El Nino rapidly weaken as ocean temperatures cool. As a result, the Climate Prediction Center is expecting La Nina conditions to take over at some point in the summer. In La Nina years, we see cooler sea surface temperatures in the equatorial Pacific due to a reversal in the trade winds now blowing from east to west. This means the winds are now blowing in the same direction as trade winds in the Atlantic, reducing vertical wind shear, and that is an environment more conducive for tropical development. While 2023 was a very active season, thankfully most of the storms recurved harmlessly out to sea thanks to the presence of a very strong Bermuda high. That is not guaranteed to be the case again in 2024, with some models actually showing a greater tendency for storms to track to the west this time. Keep in mind that this is still very far out, so I wouldn't put a ton of stock into it at this point. So putting this all together, forecasters at Colorado State University have made their most bullish preseason forecast on record. They are predicting 23 named storms, 11 hurricanes, and 5 major hurricanes, all of which are well above the long-term averages and would be one of the busiest seasons on record. Additionally, they are predicting a higher than usual chance of a major hurricane making landfall in the US. While it does seem like the stars are aligning for a very active hurricane season, this is by no means set in stone and there is no imminent danger. Hurricane season does not officially begin until June 1st and the peak of the season is not until August 15th, but that being said, there are still preparations that you could be making today. First of all, it is important to understand what your vulnerabilities are, even if you're someone that doesn't live along or near the coast. Now I think is a good time to work on some home improvement projects to bolster your defense against the various hazards associated with these storms. It's also a good idea to make sure that your emergency kit is up to date and that you have everything that you would need in the event of a storm. Like I said earlier in the video, there is no reason to panic at this time, and the purpose is not to scare you, it's just to give you an early heads up. If and when there is a credible threat this hurricane season, best believe that you will hear from me and other reliable sources as opposed to the other jabronis who really don't know what they're talking about. For more updates on hurricane season and other severe weather around the world, please give my page a follow so you can stay weather aware.